Formula One on ITV, sponsored by Toyota.
Everybody be happy, happy as you and me. 'Cause I know. Come on, baby, let me tell you all the things I wanna say. Come on, baby, let me tell you all the things I wanna say.
Into the Rascas goes Ralf Schumacher. Is he going to be able to knock Kimi Räikkönen off his perch? We thought no one would be able to beat the McLaren driver's time, but Ralf Schumacher looks like he might do it. Can he? Yes, he does. Only the second pole of his career, and what a place to do it.
A rare pole for Ralf Schumacher in the Williams. Michael's Ferrari back on the third row. Monte Carlo at its shimmering best. It is race day at the Monaco Grand Prix. Hello there, good afternoon from ITV's superb rooftop studio. Will Jenson Button be racing today after this horrible 180-mile-an-hour crash exiting the tunnel in practice yesterday morning? The answer is no. The details behind that decision come from Louise Goodman. Louise was outside the Princess Grace Hospital in Monte Carlo when Jenson Button emerged this morning.
There you go. No
What have the doctors said? I know you just had a scan. What did the doctors say?
The doctor doesn't think it's good for me to drive today, which isn't great, but we're going to try some... what are we doing today?
We're going to do some
hydrotherapy and see how I feel after that. But you know, it's difficult really, because the doctor doesn't want me to drive, and he knows best, but I want to drive, so it's pretty difficult.
Why do you want to drive?
Because I do. I'm a racing driver.
What do you remember of the accident?
Spinning lots and hitting something very hard. I don't know what happened. I think I hit the right wall first on braking. I was told that there was the armco is normally very flat, and there was a sort of a bollard sticking out. I think I clipped it with a wheel, and that sent me across to the inside, and I hit the inside wall, and then I hit the other wall. But I was actually quite lucky because it hit in the middle of the car, where all the strengthening arms are and everything, so it took a lot of the force out of it.
Did you actually black out?
Yes, for a little while anyway.
And presumably you have to go and see Sid as well, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I'm going to go down and see Sid either before or after the hydrotherapy, so we'll wait and see. How
will you feel if he says no, you can't?
Not bothered really, because if I'm not fit to drive, I'm not good to drive. So, but if I'm fit, I want to race. But we'll see.
It's clear from talking to him today that he did have a concussion, and it's very unwise to expose yourself to another possible concussion if you've just had one. So I said to him, I thought it'd be safer and wiser not to go, and they have very gentlemanly, in a very gentlemanly manner, accepted my advice.
David, so you've decided to withdraw Jenson from the race?
Yes, it's a sort of a reluctant decision from Jenson's perspective. Obviously, he's a racing driver. He feels fit and well, and he wants to get out there and race. But you have to take all things into consideration. We'd spoken to the doctors at the hospital, spoken to Sid Watkins, who's the FIA expert in this area, and they all concur that it's not normal to leap back into a racing car such a short period after a major accident such as that. You or I would take a week off work and put our feet up.
Tony and Mark are with me. Mark, as a driver yourself, you can empathise there, really, that Jenson wanted to drive today.
Oh yeah, definitely so. I mean, he's taken it in his stride, obviously you can see there, but deep down inside he wants to get back in a race car, and around this track especially.
But the fact, Tony, that he was concussed, I think that's probably the critical aspect, isn't it?
That's something we learned from that, and Professor Watkins does not want to take that risk because he takes the ultimate responsibility. The same as with McNish last year after that huge Japanese crash. He said, no way, you're not racing. Just can't take a risk here. Incredible concentration required.
Yeah, let's just take a look at exactly what happened to Jensen yesterday. Just clip the curb coming out of the tunnel, Mark.
Yeah, basically the curbing actually juts out slightly from the Armco barrier through the tunnel there. You can just see it there on the left-hand side of your picture. And Jensen just clips it with the right rear wheel, gets across the Armco. The first impact's quite heavy, but then the last impact, luckily into those tyres, is very heavy indeed. And seemed to be about 30 G recorded on the data. So it was quite a heavy hit for him. Jensen's big hit for him. It's going to take the wind out of him, but, you know, he'll be back and fit.
Yeah, we hope he'll obviously be back in a couple of weeks' time, but there are times, Tony, he won't say, when these guys have to be saved from themselves, really.
Yeah, there are, and I think Jensen respects the decision, but generally their drivers have had to be restrained. Even this fella here, restrained and get back in the cockpit. That's all they want to do. That's what they know. It's what they love. That's what they're paid to do. But they have to be restrained and slapped at times. You know?
Absolutely. Let's pick out some of the best action from qualifying too. Kimi Raikkonen has put the McLaren right up there on the front row, and I think you've got a sneaking suspicion he might do rather well today, Mark.
I think Kimi has got everything it's going to take to get this race won today. He was a little bit lacklustre over the beginning of the weekend, but he pulled this qualifying lap out of the bag, an exceptional lap. Really put it together. He's put himself in the front rows where you need to be for Monte Carlo, and I think he's got the upper hand on Ralf Schumacher and Williams. The Michelin tyre is what you need here.
Whenever we come here, we say Ralf Schumacher never does particularly well around Monte Carlo. Could it change this year?
It could well change this year. I mean, a tremendous team effort this year. I mean, it's a bounce back from Williams. They haven't won here for 20 years since Keke Rosberg. And the BMW engine particularly good with the throttle pickup because you have a lot of trailing throttle going into these slower corners, the traction control working over time, but the whole package has worked well. So it's a big team effort. It's a great fillip for Williams under that huge pressure from BMW. Absolutely.
Michael Schumacher has a fantastic record around the streets, the ultimate street fighter really, but he has it all to do from the third row. He's hoping the others in front of him have gone light on fuel, Mark.
Well, he's hoping, but let's wait and see. But this is going to be so difficult for Michael Schumacher. He's qualified 5th on the grid. Very big disappointment for him. And at the moment, we can only put it down to the performance of the Bridgestone tyre. The beginning of the lap, the middle sector was great. When he got to the end, he lost a few tenths of a second. He's already won it 5 times round here. I mean, it would be fantastic to set a record of 6 wins, but even for the master, it might be tough.
It might be indeed. Well, I'm delighted to say that the efforts of the ITV F1 team have been recognised by the Royal Television Society. We're all delighted to receive this trophy for the best sports programme of 2002, and great credit in particular to a very talented group of people who work off the screen, and don't worry, we'll do our best to keep up the standard. Michael Schumacher arrives here with very high standards, still unbeaten in the new Ferrari after that hat-trick of wins in Italy, Spain and Austria. And he came through at the A1 ring staying icy cool in the line of fire. Schumacher trusting the bravery and expertise of the Ferrari pit crew. That incident has raised all sorts of safety issues that are very relevant in the tight confines of the pits here in Monaco.
I don't see it really being any different to Austria, and in fact if you look down the pit lane here, they have these stations like these towers with fire marshals on top of them, so we might have had a water jet or a extinguishing jet hit us, but yeah, as well as our own control, the authorities here have their own system as well, so we could have had 2 systems flooding our fire if it happened here, but I have no concerns about something we have to be cautious about, but I have no particular concerns here.
Tony, there's so little room around everywhere here in Monte Carlo. It's a terrifying prospect if there was a fire in the pits here.
Terrifying, but the teams have had a concern with Intertechnic with the refueling gear, which they all have to use. And I know this is the first time it's really happened to Ferrari. For example, Ron Dennis has said that the FIA and the teams themselves have had to take a lot of responsibility for the equipment. Tim Edwards from Jordan has tried to get answers on various things. So there's still a nagging doubt in the back of their minds. They don't want anything to go off here.
Right, Tony, it is the 61st wacky race around the streets of Monte Carlo. The grid all important, bearing in mind how tough it is to to overtake here. Take us through it.
Well, Ralf Schumacher's second pole, but can he get off the line ahead of Kimi Raikkonen? Can Kimi do what Coulthard did last year and get ahead of the Williams car there? And when Pablo Montoya third place, he bottomed out, he said, truly in fourth position, in love with this circuit, going very fast. Schumacher says it's not hopeless from back here in fifth position. Coulthard made an adjustment which slowed him down through the swimming pool. He regretted that. Barrichello had problems with the tyres graining in the last section. Alonso finally a mistake-free run to 8th position. Webber 100% reliability and happy inside the top 10. D'Amato driving very well, but is that car light? We suspect it is. Villeneuve in 11th position. Giancarlo Fisichella as the temperatures went up, so the grip level went down. Pizzoni has done well in 13th to keep out of trouble. Heidfeld 14th. 15th, Heinz-Harald Frentzen in the Sauber, good considering his fuel load. Furman in the Jordan Streetwise, rookie going well here. Panis, no grip whatsoever, he says. Verstappen 18th. 19th, Wilson, amazing car control, but a slow time, unfortunately. And no Jenson Button.
Beautiful day on the Côte d'Azur, a bit of heat haze around. The redesigned harbour has to be the business centre of the world this weekend. All sorts of deals taking place on all the crafts in the harbour in Monte Carlo. It always is a beautiful sight, and we are always delighted to be here every year. It's the second now of our new series when we give you a chance to meet the team. Step forward, those yellow Jordans. Giancarlo Fisichella, he makes no bones about it. Monaco is his favourite circuit. He starts just outside the top 10. Now, Fisichella lives in the Principality, but he's been staying with his family on a boat, and Ted Kravitz joined him on his way to work this morning.
Race day morning, and on the appropriately named motorboat the Fizzy, Giancarlo has a relaxing breakfast with his daughter Carlotta and niece and nephews. A family man, Giancarlo also has a son, Christopher, who's 4 months old today. But then it's time to leave the family and head off to work, but not before a bit of acrobatics.
So what's the trick here? You have to lower myself down here. Hey, and then just drop, yeah?
Yeah.
Hey. Easy.
Good job.
Yeah. So do you feel a difference in yourself when you get on this tender and you're going into what you know is the work environment? Do you feel yourself changing anyway?
Yeah. As soon as we go there, I try to concentrate to my work, to the race. But it's nice to have just after the day when I come back, it's very relaxing for me. Go there with the family and stay on my boat.
What do you think about the race? How do you think
well,
you can go?
I'm more optimistic because you know, it's a very long race, difficult race physically and mentally. Yeah. And it's just very important to go through the end, and it's possible to score some points. But obviously my target is to get on the podium.
Oh, look, we've, as if it was staged.
No.
Come on then, let's go in.
What's happened to his shoes?
With whose shoes? We've just been on the boat. A lovely breakfast.
On your boat? Yeah, on our boat.
Yeah, listen, we've been talking to Giancarlo, reckons with a bit of luck, the podium might be on.
All right.
Never give up after Brazil, and it's such a special day.
Okay, we'll leave you to it. Giancarlo, have a great day.
Thank you.
We'll
see you later. Bye.
Hi, I'm Ralph. It's my first Monaco Grand Prix and can't wait to get going. Obviously, there's a lot of other people that make the whole effort work, and we're going to meet some of them now. Here's my #1 mechanic, Matt. Matt, hard at work. He's the one who makes the car go.
How's it going? All right.
Yeah, he's in charge of everything and makes sure the car gets going this year. We've had a great reliability this year, so hopefully looking forward to another race with another finish. Right, here we have Stuart. He's responsible for the whole of the back of the car, and very glad to say he had a bet with me, well, a bet with some of the other guys, that I wouldn't damage the car on the first day, so he's still waiting for the money, but he's obviously a very important part to play in the team, and so that's a new member, which is good.
Yeah, I'm still owed €30, aren't I?
Yeah. Right, here we are at the front end, obviously. It has to be well made. Normally we have a guy called Adders here, but get well soon. He's the athlete in the team and damaged himself playing football on Thursday night, so he's had to fly home. But a new member for the weekend, and he's going to be responsible for strapping me in at the start of the race. Should be okay, first Grand Prix on the car?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Experience, but yeah.
New member in the team, looking forward to it. Okay, here we are over at the T car. It's set up for me this weekend, but hopefully I won't be seeing it. This is Dudley, who's #1 mechanic on the T car. He used to be on my car, but he's gone on to better things. Any thoughts on the race?
Oh, I think it'll be all right. Hopefully we won't have to use this, but you keep your own race car, so we'll see you after the race.
So I have to go now. Thanks a lot to all the guys. Obviously, it's a big team and takes a lot of organisation, not only from the ground level, but also from the guys at the top as well. And here we go at the start of the race.
Bit too handy behind that microphone for my liking once he got going. Ralph Furman. Let's chat live now, shall we, to Jenson Button and Louise Goodman.
Yeah, Jenson's down here in the pit lane, a very interested, but I suspect somewhat frustrated spectator.
Yeah, a little bit. You know, I want to race, obviously, but if the circumstances aren't right, I'm not going to. So.
Are you quite confident you're going to be back and okay for Canada?
Oh, 100%, definitely. It's just, you know, because I had concussion yesterday. You know, if the same thing happened today, it's not very good for me. So that's the reason why I don't win a race.
Why did you decide to come down rather than put your feet up at home?
Because I had to.
Why?
I'd rather not be here actually, because you know when you're not racing, it's you know, it's a bit strange. And but there you go.
Thanks for talking to us, gents.
Cheers, thank you.
You get concussed, you normally have to miss about a month's sport. That is a very good decision indeed. We want to see Jenson back fit and well in a couple of weeks' time in Montreal, where you normally crawl through the streets of Monte Carlo. Quite amazing, really. Some F1 cars have managed to average 100 miles an hour around the 2-mile circuit. There are changes this year that make it a bit easier to recover from mistakes. This is still, though, a huge test of driving skill, stamina and concentration. Here's Martin Brundle. He is on board with the pole sitter Ralf Schumacher and the BMW Williams.
Let's take a look at this great lap then. Building up to 170 miles an hour. Look at everything flashing past. Gives you a tremendous sense of speed as you head into Saint-Devote. Clip the curb on the inside and get into the shadow of the barrier on the left. Listen to the engine working top revs, gearbox oscillating with every upshift, but now you're downshifting. Massenet edging the car ever closer to the barrier. Try to aim for the barrier because the car will slide wide and you'll just miss it. Into Mirabeau, bring it in early, tuck it in, and now you just hurtle down the hill. It's easy there to accelerate. Crank on every bit of lock you can find. Just trip over the edge of that pavement. It's bumpy on the exit into Portier. Bring the car in and just edge it again towards the barrier. Now you're through the tunnel. 185 miles an hour on the exit, tighter than you'd ever imagine. Braking steeply downhill. And again, try to clip that barrier on the inside. Working well so far for Ralf Schumacher. The bumpy section down to De Back. Sweep through easily, 120 miles an hour. Just listen to this. Just a fraction of a lift on the throttle. The final part of the swimming pool, easier now. Really ride all the curbs you can get away with, and a straighter run into Raskas. Then it tightens at the exit. Inside wheel spinning over the crest of Anthony Nose. It tends to hesitate there. Now you can get on with it. You desperately want to get to that start-finish line. You're starting the race from the very front.
Progressively this weekend we seem to improve a bit. And last year I had not such a good qualifying year, so I'm pretty happy with the result, certainly. Well, let's wait and see where I end up, but it's not too bad.
P5, what can you do from there?
I mean, the race is not lost, it's a long race, and we'll have to see whether our tactics make us moving forward.
As always, we want to hear from you. We really like your comments. There's a good competition, by the way, running on the ITV F1 website. You can win a bit of work experience at the Williams factory in the summer. For 16 to 18-year-olds, an essay writing competition, entry via the ITV website only. Great opportunity. Website itv.com/F1. You can text us 86188, text F1 followed by your message. Email studio@itv-f1.com, and we will do our best to respond after the Grand Prix. Mika Häkkinen, world champion. He has won this race, and he's with Ted.
Just want to ask you quickly about Jenson. Did you see his crash yesterday? Does it surprise you that he's not going to be able to race today?
I was really surprised that kind of accident. Really shame the accident like that happened to him. whoever it would be a shame. But particularly him, because he was doing well. He was really going well here in Monaco, and he was performing good. So it's really disappointing. Also disappointing because the Monaco has been trying really hard to improve the safety in some areas, like you guys know. So things like that happen. It's really a bummer. I hope he gets better, and I hope he gets well. But what I have understood is nothing too serious. So that's the most important. Thanks very much. Cheers.
He'll be passing on a few hints. Thumbs up, thank you very much, Mika, to Kimi Räikkönen, who is in place to do very well indeed here this afternoon. Well, who has got the biggest boater, the most expensive motor, the most luxurious apartment, all that kind of stuff goes with the territory during this glitzy weekend. But just check out this diamond. It's called the Monaco Rose. It is worth over £50 million. Beverly Turner has got a sparkler in her eyes.
Monaco has always been synonymous with a very decadent type of F1 heritage. And although the fashions may have changed, the quality of style remains the same. This is the 50th World Championship Grand Prix to take place here. And over the years, the walls of the Principality have played host to the raucous echo of F1 racing. The first Grand Prix took place here in 1929. After the depression of the 20s, the race was designed to raise the profile of Monte Carlo whilst competing with the Italian street race in San Marino. Jackie Stewart's success in the swinging 60s and 70s with a trio of victories at Monaco led to the event becoming a must on the social calendar. Over the years, fans have witnessed Alberto Ascari driving into the harbour and Graham Hill earning the mantle of the King of Monaco with his 5 wins, a record beaten only by Ayrton Senna. The Monaco Grand Prix is the one race that all drivers want to win, and it remains a favourite with even the most seasoned race fans.
I get the most gigantic buzz every time I get near a Formula One car, but when there's 20 Formula One cars at Monaco, I'm 6 feet off the ground. There's nothing like it.
The Monaco harbour is the perfect place to socialise, and the ideal location to showcase your previously unseen £52 million flawless pink diamond.
Formula One's a glamorous sport. It's about precision engineering. It's about taking a product to the ultimate. And I think diamonds in many ways are very similar. You take a raw material that comes out of the ground. You take enormous human skill and courage, actually, to convert that raw product into the most sparkling of all products.
Well, as the afternoon turns into evening here in the harbour, the champagne continues to flow because it's next stop, Casino Square, for a gala dinner at the world-famous Hotel de Paris with some very special VIPs. It doesn't get much more glamorous than this. Mark, you normally live in Milton Keynes. How does this compare?
Well, yeah, it's pretty glamorous, that's for sure. Certainly good to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. And Helena, tell us why you're here this weekend.
Well, I mean, the car race, the diamond. I love Monaco. I live here, so basically I'm here for all the good reasons.
Yeah. Antonio, how are you enjoying the weekend? This is your first Monaco Grand Prix as an F1 driver.
Well, it's really special to be here. Such a beautiful place, and I really like the track as well, so I'm really enjoying it.
And this diamond here, this is worth the same as all the cars on the grid, I believe. What would you rather have?
The cars, yeah.
Helena?
I think I would go for the diamond.
Me too, I think so.
First time here actually, ever driving or spectating.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully I won't be spectating. But,
no. You know, it's the smallest of all the Grand Prix, I have to say. The paddocks are not the biggest of all the others, but it's the one that everyone wants to be at.
And you are, of course, a very well-known action hero. How do you think you'd do in one of these around the track at 200 miles an hour?
I'd probably crash it.
You'd like to give it a go, though,
I'd spin out, oh yeah, that would be fun. I'd spin out very quickly.
Well, from here in Casino Square, I would bet that in another 50 years, the Monaco Grand Prix will still be the most glamorous event on the sporting calendar, and the drivers will still be hanging out with supermodels wearing diamonds. And just remember, the heroes of this weekend's race could well be the legends of tomorrow.
You're looking at the best of the modern generation. Michael Schumacher, 5 wins round the streets of Monte Carlo, taking part in warm-up, but that'll last for about another 5 or 10 minutes or so, and he's trying to win it for the 6th time, which will equal Ayrton Senna's record. The noise round these streets, by the way, has to be heard to be believed. Now, if you just look down behind our studio to the harbour down there, well, one of the liveliest yachts is called the Anaconda. The owner, a Mr. Edmund Irvine. Now, you might remember him. I think he used to be an F1 driver. Now he's in his 1st year out of action, and Louise found him suitably relaxed.
So what do you think of the new look Formula One?
Actually, I really enjoy watching it. I don't particularly like the qualifying format. I think it's boring. You know, you come here and you see 20 cars in qualifying do 1 lap. I don't agree with it. I think, you know, the way it was before, where it would build and build and build in the last 5 minutes, it was crazy. I think that was great. You're not seeing the all-out qualifying laps that you used to see. You just don't see it now because people are driving 95%, because if you lose 0.2 of a second by driving 95%, but if you go 101, you lose a second, 2 seconds. So it hasn't got the... Qualifying used to be something very special. It's not anymore.
What do you reckon of the new generation of Formula One drivers, the guys like Alonso and Raikkonen?
I think Alonso's got a really big future. Raikkonen seems to make a lot of mistakes still, but, you know, he's definitely got something. But Alonso's the only guy that I think's got that little bit extra, really.
How did you feel when you found out that you weren't going to be re-signed by Jaguar?
Jaguar had no intention of staying.
And Jordan?
Jordan, I just thought EJ would have probably taken some money out of the bank, out of his own bank, and put it into the team. Instead, he didn't want to reinvest in the team, and he's paying the price.
Do you think he is?
For sure he is. For sure.
It's the first time you've been back to Grand Prix since you left. Why did you pick Monaco?
Actually, because the boats... If you say to a girl, do you want to come to Monaco for the Grand Prix, she's not going to say no. I'm very self-contained, as you can see. So it's... Just watch it on TV, and it's a great party. Monaco is like... It's the most amazing event in the world, I think. I really do think it's second to none.
Is it nice coming here as a driver because for once you can party? Or as a non-driver?
I'm in position A because I got the boat here. I've got a lot of people from Italy that I know here. My sister's opened a new club here. I'm still famous.
So life is pretty good at the moment?
Dolce vita.
I always feel that Eddie Irvine just lacks a little bit of self-confidence. Right, we're looking at Ralf Schumacher, today's pole sitter for the Monaco Grand Prix, the 61st Monaco Grand Prix, and when you rejoin us, Martin Brundle will be down there fighting for elbow room on his grid walk. This is the sporting event to watch this weekend. We are live from the Côte d'Azur with the Monaco Grand Prix, and welcome if you're just joining us. Looking at the Ferrari team, though, David Coulthard starting alongside Michael Schumacher. He is struggling to master the new one-hit qualifying system. He's back on the 3rd row. Coulthard, those won twice here in the last 3 years.
David, you seemed a bit frustrated after qualifying yesterday. How's your man set today?
Well, obviously race day is a different deal altogether, and now you know, we have our 6th place start, and Monaco, a lot can happen, so I think it's possible to get a podium.
You're only a couple of steps from the podium, as you say, but how difficult are those steps going to be?
If the cars in front run similar strategy and are reliable, then very difficult in Monaco, because overtaking, as you know, is almost impossible, but there's usually something happens somewhere along the line.
Have you got any idea on strategy of what the people around you are doing?
Probably no different from what you've been discussing pre-show already. You know, you hear little rumours around the pit lane, so I think we're in reasonable shape.
What are the rumours you've been hearing?
Same as the ones you've been hearing.
Thanks, David.
Thanks. He's a canny old street fighter, is David Coulthard, don't worry about that. Welcome if you're just joining us. Let me just remind you of the news that Jenson Button will not be racing today. Jenson Button withdrawn. He will not be in that BAR team alongside Jacques Villeneuve, withdrawn after his crash yesterday. Let's get the views of Alan McNish, the Renault test driver. He's with Ted.
Yes, well, we're just standing where Jenson would have been at the back of the grid had he raced. Alan, you're not at all surprised, are you, that he's not racing?
No, he had a big bump yesterday, and they don't like to allow you to race unless they're 100% confident. And if you've bumped your head around, bruised the brain, then it's best to miss the race and look towards Canada.
And a quick word on strategy. No more one-stops. Well, maybe, but most people too.
I think most people too. However, I think there's going to be a lot of difference between when they make their stops, and that's something that's got to be pretty fluid at the moment. Tyre degradation is going to be a big thing between Michelin and Bridgestone.
Yeah, that's the crucial thing. Thanks very much, Alan.
It's amazing who you bump into on the Monaco grid. Look what I found here. Bono from U2. Are you a big Formula 1 fan?
No, but I might be now.
Just come along for the cruise?
It's very, 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 very rock and roll, yeah.
You've been hanging out with the Jordan team, I take it?
I'm here because my kids, and you know, I'm Eddie invited me, Eddie Jordan, down here. We're really proud of him, and I love the way it's so far. It's been amazing, and my kids are very, very excited, and now I am.
Have your kids down here on the grid, or have you left them on the boat and you're doing the walk?
Don't like them in photographs, so they're around, but not around.
Well, enjoy your day. Who are you cheering for?
Fisicello, or as we call him down here, Lemoncello.
I can't think why. Thanks for talking to us. Have a nice time.
Bye-bye.
Well, Lemoncello has got a little bit to do from the back of the grid. Certainly Flavio Briatore in the centre of the picture. What about that Renault? We haven't mentioned him too much. Jarno Trulli, has he got a shout here today, Tony?
He has a little bit of a shout. I mean, he was on the front row in 2000 in the Jordan, as we're looking at Furman there, giving us a nice little wave. He has got a very good chance. That car's very, very strong aerodynamically and suspension-wise. Lacks a little bit of power, but they're in quite good shape, Renault.
What sets this place apart, though, Mark, from any other circuit in the world?
This is the jewel in the crown. I mean, it's just an unbelievable experience as a Grand Prix driver. You know, you've got to imagine just to go through that tunnel at 185 miles an hour in a Grand Prix car is something exceptional. And you've got that fishbowl effect. You've got over 100,000 people here, and they're as close as you'll ever get. You know, from our perspective, sitting inside the cockpit, let alone those guys as close to the cars.
And that the traffic situation here, though, I mean, it's bad enough normally, isn't it? But when the F1 cars go around, it affects them as well, Tony, big time.
Well, this is why strategy is so important. This is why Schumacher is so disgruntled at being back in fifth. He wanted to be out front to be able to get away from all that traffic, because if they get stuck behind them, it's the difference between, you know, when they come in for the pit stops, and they might have to change the strategy if they get stuck out there.
How crucial is the start here, Mark, that dash to Sandoval to the first corner?
It is crucial, but now we've got that opening because there's no barrier on the right-hand side, so I'm really interested to see if somebody nips through. We saw it in races yesterday that somebody had a go, but the big thing today is physical and concentration. It's going to be very tough for these cars. It's quite warm today. The concentration levels, if everybody keeps it together, great, but now and again they make a small error, and we've seen it in the past, even with world champions. OK, now we're going to go down to your mucker, Martin, on the grid. We hope you're down there, Martin, on the grid. And here we go, boys. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you.
Stop it. That's embarrassing.
Happy birthday to you.
I've got people to see. I've got places to go.
Dear Martin. We knew you'd love that, Martin.
I did. It was very sweet of you. Thank you very much.
31 again.
21 again.
And thank you very much, Jim. Hello, team. Welcome to the grid. Down here, you see what they laughingly call the pit straight as it turns sharply right towards turn 1. How many cars are we going to see taking to that easy escape road now, and will they get penalised? Just take a look at the start lights. They've been practicing heavily to, I've never seen it before, keep going through the procedure, and I just wonder if there's a little drama going on here, and maybe you heard it first on ITV. Let's hope they get that sorted out. Let's dive in to this amazing jungle of people. Try and get a quick word with the man who's sitting on pole. Quick word, Ralph? Top man. Willie, can I squeeze in here somewhere? Excuse me. So congratulations on your pole. What's the track like after that amazing Porsche race where they spilled oil and water everywhere?
Well, I won't call it amazing, but anyway, as you can imagine, it's pretty dirty and shitty. So sorry for that, and I know it's not the finest English, but it's pretty dirty and difficult to drive on.
Okay, so it seems to me like the top 8 cars are going to be pretty close this afternoon. It's all going to be about the start, the in-laps, the out-laps, and are you expecting them to be pushing you hard?
It is going to be a tough race between the top 8 cars. As I said, strategy is going to go into account, and for sure tyres. I think with the Michelin we have the upper hand, but let's wait and see what the race shows.
You had the car for pole. Have you got the car for the win?
I hope so. We'll find out.
Good luck. Sorry, Willie. See you later. Okay, let's see if we can squeeze in here. Let's dive in here together. I have no idea what we're going to find in here, but let's have a quick poke into the middle. There's a few megastars in here. I saw walking through. Seems as if Formula One's trendy and sexy again here today. Here's a man who's also having a birthday today, Ron Dennis. He's a little bit older than me, of course. Ron, can you win this race? You're front row of the grid. Kimi should have a chance to get a good launch down the outside, yeah?
Absolutely. It's best. It's the way to. It's the way to start the Grand Prix here on the front row and on the clean side of the circuit. So you should get to the first corner first with a bit of luck.
Okay, well, we'll look forward to that. Then there's going to be nip and tuck, isn't it, all afternoon? Thank you, Ron. See you later.
It's your birthday, Mark.
Yeah, it is. Right. Let's. I wanted to go through here because I saw Ronaldo walking down. I don't know. We'll just dive in if we can see him somewhere. Bono, I think we've already talked to today. This is unbelievable. This is the grid of the major race of the year, for goodness sake. Look at this. It's unbelievable. So much going on, so much kissing and slapping. I think the drivers are standing to one side, wondering what on earth is happening around here. Moving through, I think I saw Rio Ferdinand. I just trod on a lady's toe. I'm very sorry, dear. Rio. So, and we're getting caught up here. So you won a medal this year, Man U. How's it? You think you're with Ferrari? You think they can do it today?
It'd be nice. I think they're a little bit way down on the grid, but if anyone's going to do it, Michael Schumacher will do it, won't he? So it'd be good.
First Monaco Grand Prix for you?
Yeah, first Grand Prix altogether. It's unbelievable. It's a fantastic place, the setting, the atmosphere. It's unbelievable.
I see you had a bit of free publicity in the news of the world this morning, I hear. What's all that about?
A bit over fabricated, I think, but I'm here enjoying myself. I'm just concentrating on enjoying myself here and watching a great man himself in viewing.
Yeah, well, it's good to see you supporting them. You're a Ferrari driver, aren't you?
I have been in the past, yeah.
Not at the moment, though. That's good.
I'm banned at the moment, so.
Okay, right. Well, there's another piece of news. Is your knee going to be all right? Can you play for England?
No, I'm going to have an exploratory operation, so I'm not going to be fit to play for England at all.
Right, best of luck with that from a few million of our viewers here. All right, I'm going to have a go at this one. But hey, Ronaldo doesn't speak English. We seem to be having a major problem. Bernie, do you speak English, Mr. Ronaldo? A little bit. For British television, good to see you. We've seen you in Barcelona before. First time in Monte Carlo?
No, my second time.
Yeah?
Second time.
And you're here supporting Rubens, and well, lots of
supporter for Rubens and Michael.
Rubens and Michael. So another Ferrari man. Ferrari have fantastic megastar support today. Well, it's good of you to talk to us. And so you're confident the Ferraris can get the job done?
Well, I don't understand.
You're confident for Ferrari today?
I hope to win it.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll keep watching them closely. I think the only sensible thing to do, because the cameraman's going to fall over, is to go back to the studio.
Good job down there, Martin. Good job, 44 today, Martin, in case you were wondering. And Prince Albert, a great supporter. Prince Rainier, 80 today, I believe. Great supporters, of course, of the race here. I don't think he's missed a single one. Martin Brundle doing pretty well down there. Watch out for the oil on the track. Just a quick word from you on, Mark. I don't repeat what Ralph said, but if there is a bit of oil around, that is going to be a problem.
If there is some oil, then yeah, it's going to be a bit of an issue. But normally they clean the circuit up a little bit before the actual guys go out. And they've done their exploratory lap there. They've got an idea of what the surface will be.
It is all building up here. Those start lights, they could be a problem as well. Ralf Schumacher on pole for BMW Williams. Haven't won here for 20 years. Little touch of the local anthem. The formalities will soon be over. Stand by for a compelling piece of sporting theatre. You are in the right place for for the Monaco Grand Prix.
What are you made of?
The race on ITV, sponsored by Toyota.